G'day everybody. Now I want to talk about pushing and life lessons and things that we should learn time we leave high school, and we can easily do it. And your parents sort of teach you about it, and we'll talk to you about pushing, and you'll do it too once you know that you can get people to do things, or you can do things onto people. Pushing, you know that word? So, I'm going to push you to get that job done. Pushing to make this happen. Pushing comes in good and bad ways. Right? And what happens in relationships when someone yells every day? Annoying every day. I asked you to do this, you don't do it every day, pretty much, most of the time. In fact, and when it comes to getting along, you always write down what's the good and what's the bad. If you've got the big list of the bad all the time, mostly happening, right, and scale, well, there's your answer. I'll leave then. You want the bad? Can you fix the bad? You can't fix the bad. You've tried to fix the bad. You got to go. Right? I've talked about these in a few things. Right? And so what can happen in these areas? Well, one day you're a screamer and you've gotten away with it heaps of times. And then one day they'll go, see you later, fuck off, get out of here. And these screamers will go like, but I do this every day. I'm sorry, I do this every day too, like Sausage Party, how they be themselves every day, like Earth never gets their priorities straight, right? And they restart and the aliens look at him, which is the dude, and he goes, oh my God. Right? It's the same thing. Right? And they have a whinge and a whine, but they don't get the point. And you're meant to get this at high school. We're meant to be educated, so when you start to get along, you know what pushing too far is and what the consequences is. See, they play like they're dumb. That's a lot of humans do that. We're all doing it now because it's a thing we can do. It's like a loophole, right? But it's not a thing you're meant to do when it comes to the things they teach us to try to be when it comes to connection. Connection is friendly, that list, what I was talking about, and how do we get along. If it gets out of balance in any way, you're going to have problems. That's what nature is, out of balance. Right? And so what happens in these relationships, they leave and then they cry and whinge and whine and didn't get the point, but then they learn. They go, shit, I pushed it too far. Right? I thought once I did this all the time, I was okay. Kids are like that. That's why it takes so long to teach humans. See, animals have a different life cycle and all that kind of thing. Different instincts. Humans have instincts a little bit, slightly different again. But they take a long time. We are slow. But we can get to points where we can speed yourself up. It's a little bit like the math double factor. Right? It's slow at start, isn't it? The math double factor. And then all of a sudden it goes quick, doesn't it? That's your brain with education in certain ways. And all of a sudden you're allowed to put pieces together and you can excel. Huh? But if you don't get to there, you're not going to get the excel. It's like the double factor. You've got to get to that one, then all of a sudden, definitely if you want to. Huh? And that's what happens. And so everyone goes through their lessons. They'll all say the same thing like the dude says when he goes to shoot someone in the head. They all pray for their God and this and that. And there's outcomes, and outcomes could be a God at the top, and he'll explain that later. But it's a pattern that you choose to follow and believe, and there's many ways to do that. No one has no one way. No one can be 100% psychic. That's why you ever hear even one that's close, they might be like in the medium, they're confused. They need connection. Connection makes a psychic, really. Unless you get the movie ones, which are just full of shit and always debunked, and they're not here yet. Otherwise, they'll be working for the government, and look out. If it's their rules are bad, they're going to take over the world if that's what they like, control. Or if they're good, here comes a good world, right? Because they'll make it like that. They're a good leader. It depends on what they want to be. But most of the time when it comes to humans, and our study is that we'll go the barbaric, envious, greed way. And they're things that we're still working on. So when it comes to pushing, how do you push and why do you push? And do you have a really good reason to push? Are you pushing for bullying? Are you pushing because you told that you can, which is you're teaching someone, so you're allowed to push a little bit, right, when you're a teacher, because that's your job, right? Why do you push and how far do you push things, right? Because you believe you can take over, right? It's like lying. You believe that your lies can get away with it. Maybe I'll just get away. And you can. Same with lies for a while away. But in the end, what happens with lies and pushing? Have a good one.